Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the live stream for Student Loan Justice. It is August 24th, 2023. I hope everybody is doing well out there in the world. Let me just update my date for you real quick here. I have a couple of announcements. My first announcement, I hate to do this, guys, but we definitely need donations right now. We need 22 people to donate $20 or more for this week's expenses. So if you appreciate all that we are doing, all that we are poised to do, all that we have done, and particularly if you've gotten your loans canceled lately, as many of our most active members have lately for some weird reason, just please help if you would. We can do this on very little funding, guys. We can't do it on anything, on nothing, I should say. And I suck at fundraising, and I hate doing it. So just please help if you would. So tonight I want to talk about what to say to the haters. If you're fighting this battle with us, doing our daily actions on Twitter, on Facebook, other places, you will notice that there is a very dedicated cadre of agents, operators, normal people, and otherwise who absolutely can't stand the thought of student loan cancellation. Very few of those people go out of their way to oppose us on the return of bankruptcy rights to the loans. But anytime you mention student loans, there's a certain segment of our population who automatically get animostic. Animostic? Is that a word? I don't know. There's a lot of haters out there. Just put it that way. It shouldn't be that way. Most student loan borrowers, 70% of them are either Republican or independent. That's true. This is not a liberal problem. We're not a bunch of liberals. We on this group are firstly nonpartisan group, by the way. So you know, whatever your political stripes are, you're very, very, very more than welcome on this group. And we're glad that you're here. And I hope that you'll spread the word about us. But, you know, that's just kind of the lay of the land. There's a lot of haters out there, and they are plied. They are drunk on misinformation. That's why. And so for tonight's live stream, I want to take you through some snappy answers to stupid comments that you will unavoidably see everywhere on Twitter, on Facebook, other places. So I'm dialing in your questions and comments right now. If you're watching us live on Facebook and or Twitter, aka X, it's the new thing. A quick shout out, I should say, thanks to John Cusack, by the way, actor John Cusack. He reposted or retweeted our live stream last night, and thousands of additional people who wouldn't have otherwise seen it saw it. So good guy, that John Cusack. I love his movies too, by the way. I've always been a big fan of his films. So yeah, we get a lot of hate from the haters on Twitter, and they go, there's a lot of things they say, but I'm going to run through sort of the short list here, and I'm going to show you some very simple things that you can say to reply to them. And I'm going to share my screen with you here now, actually. And I have written articles that answer almost all of the questions that the haters lodge. And I'm showing, and hopefully you can see it now here to my, well, wherever it appears on your screen. So these don't cover all of the questions, but they cover many of them. The other place that you really want to look is at our Medium channel, and you can find that at studentloanjustice.medium.com. And oh, come on, let's do this. Let's do it this way. Okay. So probably the number one thing that you see the haters say is, why should my tax dollars pay for your gallivanting in colleges and your spring break and all your whole wonderful college experience? And I'm here to tell you there's a very easy answer for that. And let me just switch my screen here again and show you our Medium channel. Here it is. If you go to if you go to studentloanjustice.medium.com and you look at all of our stories, you can see them here. And let me just go to our main profile page, and you can see the ones I think that I have pinned. And those are the most important ones. And here is the number one article that you should throw into the faces of the haters. They go, why should my tax dollar pay for your college? Well, they won't. They will not. The taxpayers have made a fortune on this loan scam. And at this point, they could cancel every nickel of federally owned student loans, and it would cost the government either essentially nothing or actually nothing. So there's the article right there. You can see my mouse hovering over it now. Why student loans will cost the taxpayers nothing. The long and the short of it is the vast majority of the lending portfolio is now profit. The people have paid. They have paid their loans back. Many people have paid 5, 10, 15 times more than they originally borrowed back. I kid you not. That's true. So I say, don't worry your pretty little head. Student loan cancellation will cost the taxpayers nothing. Unlike PPP loans, unlike any of the stimulus that we saw during COVID, unlike any of the stimulus that we've seen in my entire adult life, like the bailout for the banks and all that stuff. All that stuff added to the national debt and required money from the Treasury. Canceling student loans adds nothing to the Treasury, requires not one dime from to be added to the national debt. So it's very important. So let me just go back to my bit.ly links so that we have a couple of we have some good shorthands for you. So you can easily remember most of these, hopefully. Another thing people say is canceling student loans will only help the rich. That's completely false. And you can see an article much like the one that I just showed you that I wrote here at bit.ly/won't help rich. For a while there, people were liking to claim that canceling student loans will cause inflation. Again, that's completely, absolutely asinine and false. I wrote an article about it at our Medium channel, and you can see it for yourself at bit.ly/won't cause inflation. And most of those titles are pretty self-explanatory, I think. Another really important one, I think, is that everybody thinks that they're talking to a young person, a young liberal snowflake when they argue with us about student loans. There's a good chance that you're older than whoever is arguing with you. But regardless, you should know that most people with student loans are older rather than younger. And that fourth bit.ly link there speaks to that very clearly and effectively. So bit.ly/old more than young. And let me just scroll down a little bit. You know, at the end of the day, as I said, we're firstly nonpartisan group. This is a very nonpartisan problem, but it's been captured by the partisan divide, the D's versus the R's and all that nonsense. And it turns out that most of the people who, not all, but most of the people who oppose us tend to be Republican. That's true. So there's those two bit.ly links at the very bottom are very, 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 actually there's three, but I'll just keep it with these two. Very important. So when you're pretty sure you're talking to some diehard Republican or maybe a Trump guy or a MAGA guy, there's two really good links. They're at the bottom of this thing that you're looking at now. One is bit.ly/4Republicans. We're trying to make it easy for you. bit.ly/4Republicans. And this shows why the Republicans are absolute idiots for taking the wrong side of this issue. This article shows how Republicans have been tricked onto the wrong side of this issue. How most people with student loans are either Republican or independent. How the worst hurt states are Republican stronghold states like Texas and the entire South, South Carolina, North Carolina. Georgia's the worst. Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, you name it. You name the southern state. And then there's in particularly a very, very, very good interview that Tucker Carlson did with the Trump appointee, who's basically saying what we are saying, is that this lending system is poised to ruin the nation. Loans have got to be canceled. And most importantly, to me, to this group, is the bankruptcy rights have got to be returned to the loans. So if you can remember, if you can commit even 4 of these links to memory, this last one, this Tucker Carlson interview, is just extraordinarily helpful. And that's bit.ly/hear it from Tucker. So you say, hey man, you don't want to listen to me? Just hear it from Tucker and just put that in their face. And at least half the time they'll see that and go, oh, maybe I didn't really understand what I was talking about and stuff. They will go away often. And that's what it's going to take, guys. We're in a battle here. If you haven't noticed, we are in an info war, and the misinformation being seeded against us is 98% of the media that we're going to see on this topic. And I'm sorry, but we've just got to combat that. You know, don't run and tuck your tail and allow yourself to be intimidated by these mouth-breathing MAGA idiots who go, hey, why should my tax dollar pay for your student loan? That's bullshit. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. And you know what I like to tell those people who the haters who launch these cartoonish tirades against us? I go, hey man, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And what I say, you know, you are fighting for the colleges, and you probably don't even realize it. Sometimes I like to ask them, are the colleges paying you to fight for their big government loan scam, their big government red state wrecking loan scam? Are you on the college's payroll? I think you might be. Like, what are you talking about? I hate the colleges. No, I hate the colleges. And I'm like, well, hey, man, if I were the colleges, I'd be paying you because you are a shill for the colleges and you don't even realize it. And I say to them, turn in your conservative card. You done lost that, chief. And that usually makes them think. We have a very conservative argument, ladies and gentlemen. You don't realize how conservative an argument we actually have. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to bankruptcy, guys. And the most important link that I post the most, by far, bar none, is bit.ly/bankruptcy is critical. And if you're new to the group, you probably don't understand this, but I'm just here to tell you that this whole thing rests on the unique stripping of bankruptcy rights from these loans. We've got to get the right of bankruptcy returned as it exists for all other loans. We've got to get that done. I don't care what your student loan situation is. I don't care what you want to see happen with your student loans. Whether you want to see cancellation, whether you want to see a forgiveness of your interest, cancellation of interest, whether you want some other negotiated workout for your student loans. Maybe you just want to make it through one of the IDRs. No matter what you want to see happen with your student loans, it will not happen unless and until we, the people, get the leverage of bankruptcy rights back. It is the strongest argument we have, far stronger than our argument for loan cancellation. Make no mistake, we are fully on board with loan cancellation. We launched the concept of canceling student loans by executive order into the public conversation. That was started with this group. I kid you not. But I'm here to tell you guys, we've been doing this for 18 years now, and I can tell you without hesitation in my voice, we have got to get the constitutionally enshrined leverage of bankruptcy returned to us. So yeah, guys, that's just extraordinarily true than it's ever been. And with the repayment pause ending in what, like a week? And with the repayments resuming in like a month and a week, if we don't have the toothpick of power of bankruptcy rights back on our side, as they exist for all other loans, guys, it is very well going to be a bloodbath. The student debt collective industry is drooling at the prospect of these loans being turned back on and bankruptcy rights remaining gone from the loans. And quite frankly, guys, some of the other groups claiming to be fighting for loan cancellation, they are in league with the student debt collection industry. They do millions of dollars of transactions with them, business transactions. They are their business partners. And they don't fight for bankruptcy. I think that's very suspicious. They ought to be ashamed of themselves, quite frankly. That's like just about as corrupt as you can possibly imagine. But that's the reality, guys. When they turn these loans back on and the right of bankruptcy remains gone from us, we are going to be like turkeys at the Thanksgiving dinner. And I'm worried, guys. You know, as I said, we're losing many of our best members right now because they are among that lucky 2% of people to be getting their loans canceled through the various income-driven repayment plans, mostly the public service program. And while that's only 2% of all student loan borrowers, it seems to be something like 50 or 60% of our most active members. Go figure. So whatever's behind that, whoever knows. But what I can tell you guys is that this group right here, this group, we are the only group fighting this battle as it needs to be fought. As far as I can tell, we're the only uncorrupted group who don't make money off of the ass of our members. We don't sell our members into loan rehabilitation. The only place we make money are from normal personal gifts from normal people, usually distressed student loan borrowers. We are ethically as snowflake pure. So in that respect, we are a bunch of snowflakes. We are snowflake pure when it comes to ethics, guys. And that's the one thing that we will never change, come hell or high water. And I hope that you can appreciate that fact. But more than anything, I hope you will really realize that everyone with student loans, I don't care who you are, what your situation is, everybody with student loans, including and especially you, should be fighting as hard as you possibly can to get your House rep and both of your senators fighting for the return of bankruptcy protections to student loans. It's the key to everything, guys. As long as we don't have that, we'll be begging Joe Biden or the next president forever to do loan cancellation, to do other nice things. And we will never get anything good. And 18 very long years of looking very carefully at this loan scam have informed me of that, have bestowed that wisdom upon me. So please learn from this group's 18-year history of being screwed and tricked and trapped and lied to by both parties again and again. And take it on faith if you have to. We have got to fight for bankruptcy. It is the only worthwhile thing that anybody with student loans should be doing right now. So I'm pushing 20 minutes, but I hope you found this live stream useful. You know, forewarned is forearmed. This isn't InfoWar, and this is your battle. And if you go back to our Medium channel, studentloanjustice.medium.com, and you just read maybe 4, 5, 6 of our articles, you can see the link right there, studentloanjustice.medium.com. Or you can see us on Substack as well. We have a Substack. You will be a very fine, fit, and fierce student loan justice warrior. And we need you in this fight because the media we can't count on. People in Washington, D.C., we clearly cannot count on. The only people we got that we can count on are us, me and you, and other normal, living, breathing people with student loans, typically. So please take my words to heart. This is your battle. It feels very good to fight this battle, by the way. We do nothing more than tell the truth and spread truth to kill all the lies that are being seeded against us. And so we're doing a very valuable public service. And because I don't want this group to disappear, I will finish this live stream by again imploring you to please donate if you can, guys. We are always a couple weeks worth of funding away from disappearing or less, sometimes days. So just please donate so I can shut up about it. But I will be back tomorrow, Friday, guys. This is your battle. This is your fight. We need you in it. You have no idea how important you could be. The country, and as unlikely as it may sound, the country actually needs you. It is truly your patriotic duty. I would say your civic and patriotic duty to be helping this group right here to solve this problem. Because this is the camel's nose under the tent, guys. We're fighting for ourselves, but we're fighting for tens, hundreds of millions of people who are going to follow in our footsteps. And we are looking down a very dark path right now, guys. I'm not going to lie. We've got a very uphill battle ahead of us, and we're going to need all of you pitching in. So please take that to heart. Get into the habit of doing our daily actions, which you can see right there. And take this seriously, because this is your life and this is your livelihood, and we need you and we want you, and we're glad that you're here. So jump on in. The water is fine. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck. God bless and Godspeed.